Hello YouTube, it's Luke from BassNLuke, and I'm going to teach you guys how to make an RPG in GameMaker. It's not very hard, just have to stick with me. We will be dealing with scripts, local variables, and sign, and a lot of functions you may not know, and I will explain it if need so. So, let's start out. I have finished this already so that I didn't make any mistakes, and it works perfectly, so I'm just going to go through every little line of code with you, and then you can copy it down, therefore, the way you want to. So first make a player down sprite, just whatever animations you want to use for that. A player horizontal sprite, so this will be, facing one direction. And a player up sprite, a player attack sprite, and the first image of this sprite should be blank. Second one should be up, third right, fourth down, fifth right again. I explained again why that's like that. It's the same reason why this is horizontal and not left and right. Make a 16 by 16 block for a solid. A player mask, which should be the same as that, just centered. And let's get started on the object. So solid object doesn't actually have to be solid for once. So you can uncheck that if you have already. And the player object should just be your down sprite. And then in the create event, we have this. So image underscore index equals 0, image speed equals 0. So that's just a given for almost any game. Direction, and this is like my own variable. I do not use the default variable or function for direction of GameMaker. So I made my own variable called dir. Dir! And this is going to be 4, and I have made a little note. So left equals 1, up equals 2, right equals 3, down equals 4. And I will explain why it's like that later. Speed equals 2. I would recommend using something between 1 and 3, because it's a little dumb if it isn't. This is our step event. First line, mask underscore index equals player mask, because it's so that our character is actually a 16 by 16 block. But you don't actually see the blacks, it's okay. We make local variables, and this is basically like your own little line of create event inside of the step event. It just saves time, so you don't have to make a bunch of variables in the create event. So up, down, left, and right, and this is just our keyboard pressing. So up equals keyboard underscore check up times our speed. So like whatever your speed variable is, it will be there. And this saves time down here. And I will show you that in a second. Down equals VK down. Time speed again, left, and a corresponding keyboard presses. So we're going to repeat however many times, or if we press right, basically it's saying that we will repeat this little bit of code as many times as we press right. So if we're constantly holding down right, then it will do this over and over again. So if we are not place underscore meeting x plus sign, and this is just basically it checks every second if you're doing this, x plus sign, right, y, solid. And then that's just that little bit. And we're not pressing left, so remember left is up here. Then x will plus equal sign 1, and this is just multiplication. Basically it's multiplying 1 times your speed so that you're not like going crazy fast. Y will plus equal 0 because we don't want to be moving up or down while we're pressing right. Direction equals 3, and remember right in the here is 3. So now this may get confusing, but you just copy and paste this bit of code, and then you do it 3 more times, and then change everything to the other directions and the corresponding x and y coordinates with that. And this last little bit, it's pink. Well, if you're not familiar with scripts, you may not know what this means. Pink is basically reading that you made a script called whatever is in this pink. So sprite underscore character is a script that I made, and then in this little parentheses I put dir, because that's our variable dir, and I will show you what that is. Here's the script. Not very hard to figure out. I will dumb it down very much for you, because it can get confusing. Sprite underscore character is the name of our script, and then what an argument is this. So you remember the keyboard underscore check thing that we put in earlier? Well, inside the parentheses is an argument. So vk underscore left is in fact an argument. And anything that has a comma and then something after it, something like that, is also an argument. So this counts. So if this was a real function, which it is, I'm just giving an example, vk underscore left, comma 1, comma y, erase that last comma. This would be 3 arguments because there's 3 things to put inside the commas. So if I took away the y in that comma, this would be 2 arguments. Take away this, it would be 1 argument. So keyboard underscore check default only needs 1 argument, and if you put anywhere else, it will bring up an error and quit your game. So what we are making is basically our own keyboard underscore check, but we are making it something different. That we get to make our own. So sprite underscore character, and then you guessed it, we're making our sprites in here so that we don't have to put a bunch of mumbo jumbo inside of the step bit. So if argument 0, and argument 0 is what's inside of our parentheses there. Don't put a parentheses up there, by the way. Argument 1 equals 0. So this is our dir. So you remember our dir variable, how we put it and everything like that. It's because whenever you press a direction like that, it's going to equal a number, and that number corresponds with the direction that we're going. So you remember 1 equals left. Well, here's the player horizontal sprite that we set it to, sprite underscore index equals sPlayer h. So what this does is basically sets our sprite to our horizontal sprite. But you remember our horizontal sprite is facing right, so to change this we put image underscore xscale equals -1, so that flips our sprite in the opposite direction, so it looks like we're moving left. Image speed equals 0.2. If argument 0 equals 2, so that's up, player up, image speed equals 1.2, or 0.2. Argument 0 equals 3, it's right. So image xscale equal 1, and this will mess up if you don't put the image xscale equals 1 because it will make it -1 because that's what it was set to earlier. Argument 0 equals 4. sPlayer d is our sprite, so this is down. Image speed equals 0.2. And now this is the last part, very easy. If x equals x previous and y equals y previous, then image underscore speed equals 0. So that means if our x coordinate and our y coordinate hasn't changed, aka we are not moving, then our image speed equals 0 and means that we're not moving, because we are not moving. So with all that, sorry, I need to take a breath, that was a lot. Make a room, put some random objects in, or random solids in, just so you can test out the detection for it. Put your player object in, go ahead and run it. And as you can see, we move left, up, down, right, move around, and our player will go in that corresponding direction with the sprite that he's in. And it stops whenever you let go. He continues to move when you press up or down, left, right. That's all for this tutorial. I will add in more RPG elements later. You'll be able to attack. I will add enemies, and that is all very easy, I assure you. I will see you in the next tutorial. Thanks for watching.